I just think, like you said, I mean, Jack 4, you know, top and bottom from up front, it can be a difficult hand to play. I don't like Danny's raise on the flop, and I don't like his call on the river. And but it's really just player dependent. It's specifically against that player. I think we got a 3-bet here. Or is it just a raise? I'm trying to figure this exact out here. Fred called. No, Fred raised. And JC, I believe, has 3-bet. Okay, let's get the number on JC's 3-bet. Yeah, it is. Fred has raised. JC has 3-bet. How do you play it if you're Fred? Once again,
we don't know what
it's against
JC's
the gambler.
hand is.
It's against the gambler. How do you play queens here?
Well, let's look at the stack sizes here. Fred's got
4,000. Effective stack is 4,000. Are you 4-betting this? Are you 4-betting and getting it in with queens?
No, I think I'm just going to call here. I really do, because especially if there's been some bluffs in his range, you can see JC. If I have the image of Fred and I 4-bet, I don't know if JC, he might fold out ace-jack. I think I call play poker
and
you're
never getting ace-king to fold. You're never getting aces or kings to fold. The only hand you might get the call that you're beating, you might get jacks or tens to call you.
I think you do.
And Fred's thinking about it. I don't think Fred's ever folding here.
I think that I would just call.
And I think that's what Fred has done as well.
How much do you have? You have more than me.
Yeah, and the effective stack now, Fred has got 30, say 500 left. That's what it's called. 3,500 left. The pot is already 1,200. And I'm sorry, it's an all-in and a call. Oh, it's an all-in blind.
JC moved all-in blind, and there's the ace. Wow. I got to tell you, though, Dave, he moved in blind, and this is really an interesting quandary for you, because if he was doing this with, like, ace-king or an ace, now you can't beat that. I think that you probably would have to call if like, the board came out 8-7 deuce against a maniac. But now you can't beat an ace. He went all in blind. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If the board comes out 5-5 deuce,
right,
he might have jacks. He might have tens.
Or just whatever. He could have ace jack.
And I got to tell you, if I knew JC was this much of a maniac, then hey, you might as well 4-bet, get it in, pre-flop the queens.
Now remember, but you don't know if JC would have called off though. If Fred had re-raised, you don't know if JC would have called off.
If Fred calls and you're going to go in all blind, I mean.
Now you don't beat kings, and Fred calls. He's gonna step in it. He is beat, and you know the table's gonna love it. They're gonna love to see this guy double through. Turn
Only
into
a queen.
3.
Only a queen on the river will save Fred, and that, my friends, is not a queen. 3 of spades on the river, and
look at him. He's slowing.
By the way, that's an $8,000 pot.
Yep.
That's an $8,000 pot.
Wow.
$8,000 pot, and the going all in blind is what got him the money. The going all in blind is what got him the money, and this is what I talked about earlier on in the show. Once again, let's talk about it. When you get the maniac, when you get the gambler at your table, I know it's one of my leaks. I push where I shouldn't push, and I don't wait for the spots. And I'm just wondering, I don't think this is a spot that Fred ever would have gotten involved with against anybody else.
Oh, definitely not.
But because it's against this player, he got his money in where literally all he could beat was like a stone-cold bluff.
I mean, again, you look at this and it's like...
But, I mean, I don't even know. Is it a bad play by Fred to call that off?
Well, that's what I'm trying to evaluate, because if the guy's going to make the same play with, like, 9s, 10s, or jacks, and you beat that anyways, and then you let the ace scare you, or there are many combinations of ace-X's that he's going to have in your hand, that now you don't beat.
If you stoved it and you said, okay, the guy's got either ace-king, aces, kings, jacks, 10s, or 9s. Let's give him those 5 hands. Plus, let's give him ace-king, ace-queen, and ace-jack. Obviously, there aren't that many ace-queens in his range. Against that many cards, I think you probably have to fold, because there are far more ace-kings than there are 9s, 10s, and jacks.
Well, and then, like I said, if you give him, like, ace-queen and ace-jack...
You can also give him aces and kings.
But if you also give him, like, sometimes any ace... We've seen him 3-bet now 3 times with, like, ace-little. I think that if you add those combos in, it becomes a fold because you cannot beat the ace now.
But okay, I know he's a maniac, but let's discount anything below ace-jack. Only because not only did he make it 600, but he also went in all blind.
Right.
So let's say he has to have ace-jack or higher. I even think, let's remove ace-jack from his range, even though he had that hand. Let's say he only has there aces, kings, jacks, tens, or ace-king. It's a fold.
Yeah, because there's so many combinations of ace-king.
Yeah, well, you beat jacks and tens, but you lose to kings, aces, and ace-king.
Yeah.
And obviously he doesn't have aces very often because there's an ace on the board, but still.
Well, yeah, but that's factored into the combination.
I think you probably have to fold that, but JC has got this table in such a fury that he's
It's all the same.
gotten Fred to pay him off.
It can't be your